Welcome. It's a great day to learn something new. I'm Rashana Levin with Keller Williams, and today I am diving into the world of fix and flip real estate. Whether you're brand new or have some experience, this webinar will provide you with the steps to finance, analyze, renovate, and successfully sell a property for the maximum profit. By the end, you'll understand how to run the numbers, avoid costly mistakes, and scale your flipping business. Let's get into it. So, understanding flip investing. So, flipping houses is about taking undervalued properties, making smart renovations, and selling them for a profit. But not every deal is a good one. And if you don't plan correctly, you can lose money instead of making it. Common mistakes include overpaying, underestimating costs, and slow turnaround times. I'll show you how to avoid those. So, financing your flip. The first step is to secure financing. You can't do anything without the money unless you have cash. Options include hard money loans, private investors, conventional loans, and cash purchases. The best choice depends on your situation, but remember, time is money. The faster you close, the better your deals will be. Analyzing the deal. One key formula to remember is the 70% rule. This ensures you're buying a property at a price that allows for renovation costs and a solid profit margin. For example, if the home will sell for 300,000 after the rehab and repairs cost 50,000, the maximum you should pay is 160,000. So where are you going to find these properties? So there are several ways to find deals. You can find them through the multiple listing service, otherwise known as MLS, foreclosures, wholesalers, and reaching out to people directly through your networking and direct mail. But don't rush. Look out for red flags such as foundation issues or bad locations based on these sales turnover ratio in the area. Building your renovation team. So, a great contractor can make or break your project. Vet them properly, check licenses, insurance, references, see ask for previous work, ask to even go and see the work. Photos, anybody can take a photo from another website, or you can do a lot with AI now. So, you don't really know if the person actually did the work that they're claiming that they did. You want to protect your investment because these are thousands of dollars. Even if it was hundreds of dollars, but this is a lot of money that you're spending. So you want to make sure your investment is solid, protecting it at all costs. We can't avoid everything and all mistakes, things will happen, but if you follow the right process and vetting, it will help you in the long run. Don't just go for the cheapest bid. Cheap is not always the best. Quality work will save you money in the long run, and you don't want to open yourself up for potential lawsuits from the end buyer that buys the house after you renovate it. So, profit expectations. Your minimum target profit should be at least 30,000 per flip. And the reason why I say that is you don't want to go through all this work and make $5,000. That's not the goal here. Everybody wants a good deal, but things will happen. It might not be 30,000, but if you run the numbers in the beginning and you end up with 25, that's not terrible, but you don't want to go through all this work, get in the deal, get in the loan and all that, and you're only making $5,000. That's not really worth it, unless that's your plan, but I wouldn't recommend that. So a rough breakdown of how to allocate costs is 50 to 60% for acquisition, 20 to 25% on the rehab, 5% on holding costs, and 5 to 7% on the selling costs. So never cut margins too thin or you regret it when unexpected costs arise. So what you need to know when you are selling a home is the FHA 90-day flipping rule. So if you plan to sell to an FHA buyer, you will need to wait 91 days before you list the property. This rule prevents quick resales but can be managed with the right timeline. So if you put a house on the market, say the rehab doesn't take that long and it's only like 40 days. You put the house on the market, if the house, what they call, the lenders call for FHA is what's called season. So if the property is not seasoned for 90 days, you will only be eligible to sell that property to someone that's paying cash, a VA buyer possibly, and a conventional buyer, because they have the rule. So you'll limit your buying pool. It's not that you can't sell it within that time, you just can't sell it to an FHA buyer. And if you get an FHA contract, you will have drama because they can't buy it. That's going to be a red flag. All right. So selling the property. So selling isn't just about listing the property. It's about maximizing value, professional staging, great photos, hiring the right agent if you're going to hire one, strong marketing for their top dollar. So you want to make sure the house is presented in its best light. You want to highlight what you've actually renovated and why someone should pay you top dollar for your house that you've just renovated, because you want to get your best return on investment. And you want to have the right team to help you negotiate the contract from beginning to end and have a smooth closing so you can replicate the process and do it all over again. That's the whole goal here. So, how much should an investor have in the bank? So, you want to have a minimum of cash reserves to cover your down payment, rehab, holding, and unexpected costs. So if you're a beginner investor, I would aim for 50 to 100,000. If you do 2 to 3 flips a year, I would say 100,000 to 250. And if you're advanced, if you do this like full time, I would say 250 plus. And you should also have an emergency fund of up to 15% of a buffer for unexpected expenses, because what you don't want to do is run out of money. Time and time again, I see listings on the market where you can tell that they ran out of money because they didn't properly allocate funds how they needed to be. So you want to make sure that you have enough money. So holding costs includes, okay, if you're getting a hard money loan, you have to pay loan interest payments on that. You have to pay taxes and insurance. You have to pay utilities and other maintenance while this rehab is going on. So you want to make sure you have enough money for that. Now that you understand the process, it's time to take action. I didn't want this video to be too long, so I just wanted an overview so you can kind of get an idea of what you're going to need if you are thinking about the fix and flip routes, that you want to know what you actually are up against, because nothing is worse than you say, oh, well, I want to do this, and you get into it and you realize, like, I made a huge mistake and I ran out of money, and then you're stuck with this property and then you can't sell it and you can't fix it, and then you have to ask for assistance. What I didn't mention in the slides is you may want to consider a joint venture project. So if you find the property, a lot of investors are willing to partner with you and invest with you, so you can leverage other people's money as well as getting financing. So that's another option too. So let's get you started with your first or next successful flip. I am Rashana Levin with Keller Williams, KW United. You can give me a call at 240-284-4114. I service Virginia, Maryland, and DC. Make it a great day, and I hope to hear from you soon.